My name is Dishun, and this was my STEM story. My name is S.A.G.E. Melbert. I work for Natural Resource Conservation Service. I'm the district conservationist here in Kalamazoo, Michigan at the Portage Field Office. I got into this field in college. I made a major change going into my junior year, and I was really looking for something that encompass chemistry and biology, but also wouldn't set me back multiple years since I changed my major in my junior year. And I took a couple of introductory classes into ag, and the story started there. For my job, what I do is I work with landowners. That includes farmers, private forest landowners. If you own a field that you want to turn into wildlife pollinator habitat, I help these individuals address natural resource concerns on their property. The natural resource concerns that we're looking at is soil, water, air, plants, animals, humans, and even energy. My day-to-day is really based off of what's the weather outside. So I would say my office to field work is roughly about 50-50. But while I'm out in the field, if it's forested acres, then I'm doing evaluations. I'm looking for invasive plant species. I'm looking for any type of endangered or threatened plant species. I'm looking for overcrowding in the trees. And I'm just inventorying the forest and making sure that we can put forest health priority first. If I'm out in the crop field, then I'm looking for washouts. I'm looking for which way the water goes. I'm looking to make sure that there's no erosion actively happening. I'm looking to make sure that we aren't having any sedimentation going on, and just making sure that we aren't having runoff of any of the agrochemicals that's being used on the field. If I'm going out to a dairy farm or any type of livestock operation, I'm making sure that that they're grazing in a way that'll push forward pasture health, or I'm making sure that their manure containment system is appropriate and that we're not getting any contamination into some of the neighboring water bodies or anything like that. So there's a lot of things that students can do to make an impact. Just going from an energy standpoint, turn your lights off when you're not using them, like conserve as much energy as possible. From a human standpoint, make sure that you aren't throwing away your trash out of the windows. Make sure that you are appropriately following any safety signs. Just make sure that if you live out on the farm and you see anything with hazard that looks hazardous, make sure label it, call it out, let your parents know. Plants, I feel like plants and soil go together, because if we want to make sure that we can keep soil in its place, we want to make sure we're preventing erosion, preventing sedimentation. Just making sure that you are mindful of the impacts that you have. We, in general, we don't value enough how finite some of our resources are, and so just being conservation minded is something that a student can do today to have an impact. One thing that I would like to say to the students is that your path just doesn't determine your worth. Everybody is going to get to where they're going. Some people came from a traditional ag background. They had that knowledge instilled in them. They grew up with it. They were raised with it. And some people won't, but your worth will be determined by how much effort you're willing to put in and how much hard work you're willing to put in. Because at the end of the day, your life is going to give you what you give it. So if you put in the work, if you put in the effort, if you make the attempts, and don't be scared to fail. Sometimes you can fail. Like, you are interviewing me now because I have had some relative success, but there's been a lot of failures along the way. Like, everything isn't successful. Everything isn't always smiles, great job. There will be some failures along the way, so don't be scared to fail. Your path doesn't determine your worth.